Hello, welcome to Chrysalis Invictus Tarot. My name is Elizabeth, and tonight I have for you messages from Deer and Stag. And so as I light these candles, set your intention, ask your questions. Come into a deeper awareness of your breath. Feeling your chest rise and fall, your shoulders relax. What has brought you here to these messages? What can you learn here tonight? And so the deer has a gentleness to it. She holds space for you to find peace and stillness in yourself. The stag empowers you to be independent. The stag empowers you to take pride, to have vision, and to clarify what you are moving toward and what you are after. As you can see, I have 5 piles in front of me. The first from the Spirit Animal Wisdom deck. From the Liminal Spirits deck. This truly horrific card. Celtic Oracle. And this is a Gaelic word for stag. From Dreamscape Oracle, we have Fawn. And from the Celtic Animal Totem, the stag. If you're drawn to more than one pile, there may be more than one message for you here. Making your selection from the timestamps below. I will meet you at your reading. Pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. You have Deer. It says, trust. Approach the situation with a light heart. What I'm feeling for you is there are 3 energies present: past, present, and future. Yourself outside, yourself inside. But they split. So there's you in your dream world. But when you come back, you're still elsewhere. You're still somewhere else. Let's take a look at your other oracle cards and see what messages we might find here. So we have Risk, the Wisdom of Avalon deck. And I don't know if you can see it, it's very faint, but there are 3 arrows at the base of this path, signifying a crossroads. Again, with the 3, there are 3 energies present in this reading. There are choices. There are games being played at the expense of your future. And these games have to do with the opinions of 2 different people outside of yourself. But these 2 people also represent voices in your own head. This could be your mother and father, or it could be people that stand in for these 2 conflicting ideas in your own mind. We have here the dragon, and it says power and strength. So there's almost a fight for dominance, and this could be between different aspects of yourself or between 2 people. The way is clear, but there are things, there are unforeseen angles, costs on the way that is clear. You are going to be affected by each of these people, and it's going to help you come into your strength. It's going to help you come into yourself that much more, to integrate, to become whole. Let's take a look at your tarot cards and see if we have any additional wisdom. So we have the Hierophant, the 6 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, that 3 energy again, the 5 of Swords, and Justice. Libra and Taurus energy. The balance, once again, we see 3. If we turn it upside down, the 3 arrows pointing down, the 3 different paths. And all of them run through the heart. All of them have their own power and their own heartbreak. You've made decisions before that have aligned with a more traditional path. You've allowed or worshipped at the altar of some authority that you feel is greater or more knowledgeable than yourself. No one is more knowledgeable about you than you are. Dear is letting you know that on the other side of this tangled mess of thoughts and ideas is a victory, is arriving and achieving some kind of wholeness, some kind of integration. We have surprises. Under the most ordinary stone is an undisturbed garden. Cleanse. Wash your weary spirit clean and take a walk in the wooded glades. And path. Wander not the path less traveled. What you find. Wander on the path less traveled. What you find may surprise you. So there's a path you're going to take, and it may feel risky. It may not be something that people expect of you. And regardless of what anyone says, you know you've been receiving in your dreams and you feel it in your body, this wisdom. And it's telling you both Libra and Taurus are ruled by Venus. So there is going to always be a sense of beauty and love in what you do. The Taurus and Libra both love beautiful things, simple, clean, valuable things. Something has been messy, and in order to get to the other side, this beautiful place that you're looking for, you have to go through the mess. You have to make your way through the tangle, cleanse, and embrace the surprising. The surprising light on the other side. That is what I have for you, pile number 1. I hope this was illuminating. Take care. Pile number 2, you chose this very troubling portrait of a deer. And I'm feeling for you that this is a message, a stag message about focusing on your heart, something you desire, something you love, something you have not allowed yourself to want or have because you fear that your shadows are too deep or your feelings are too deep, or you fear that your love will not be reciprocated enough to fill you and fulfill you. Let's take a look at your oracle cards and see what they say. Okay, so you have eagle. The eagle is your higher perspective, and it's you're reminded that you have this perspective, clear hearing, clear sight of the whole picture. But if you think of an eagle calling out a warning, and the deer below would be sensitive to that, that there is an aspect of yourself, a higher intuitive aspect of yourself that has your back. The novice. So this says, it is a lot darker in here than maybe it looks. Innocence, beginner, ignorance, new skill without practice, unstable curiosity. This is really like a Fool card almost. But there's change coming. There's a change that involves a dream you've had for maybe quite some time. And this higher perspective is coming in to help guide you. Spirit, integrity, connection to the angelic realm. So you are divinely guided to this new beginning. And I'm feeling for you that the most difficult part is surrendering pride. Admitting that you don't know as much about the skill as you know the theory, or something of that nature, that you would be starting, going back to school or starting somewhere smaller than where you want to be right now. So it could be that kind of thought of like, I'm too old to be starting anew. But we have the serpent, knowledge and healing. So you may be going to learn something with the serpent and the stag and the eagle. This feels to me like something deeply spiritual. It could be shamanism. You may be looking for or finding a teacher, someone who can teach you how to connect with these energies. But there's definitely a lot of new, a lot of learning coming in. I was also really guided. You're the only pile that got a card from this deck. So let's see. Independence. This is from the Ravenwood Chronicles Oracle, and I have not read the books, but I do know that this is a former soldier who's starting a simple new beginning. So this could be you paring back from, perhaps you had a career and you're switching careers, or you're turning to something of the healing arts as a shift in career. But there's also an attunement to yourself that is new and high and clear. And that could be where this novice comes in, that your energy feels there's a fear. There's a deep fear here. Let's see if the tarot cards give us some more insight. You have a lot of cards. Okay, so you have Grace, which is the Temperance card. Queen of Arrows. And the Two of Arrows. The stag is asking you to focus on a path you have not yet taken, trusting that your discernment and your intuition will take you where you need to go. You make this decision in your connection to the divine, your subconscious, your guiding self. There's a really heavily grounded energy here that helps you get through the fear of perhaps soaring, of taking that higher perspective. You had 4 of these botanical cards, so I'm going to see what they have to say. Apple blossom, choices, knowledge, and illumination. Yes. So maybe you're choosing to go back to school or do some sort of apprenticeship. It says, white are the flowers of apple trees that bring us fruits of fertility. I don't know why, but I really feel like someone here wants to start a family and they feel like they're too old. And the message is that this would not be like the last time. So maybe you have a family already, or maybe you tried to have a family or have a serious committed relationship and it went poorly. But there's part of you that has thought that this new beginning, and this could be becoming a parent, there's part of you that knows that this is something that needs to be done, or something that it's like a calling for you. It's what your heart, remember in the beginning I said there was something about the heart, but there's knowledge, there's learning, there's healing, there's so many different things going on, and this independence. But I'm really feeling that becoming a parent is part of it for some of you. And we have false indigo, immersion and intuition, yes. It says, when you reach the end of what you should know, you will be at the beginning of what you should sense. And this is about taking that higher perspective of the ego. It's interesting because this whole journey is co-guided by the deer and the eagle working together. So perhaps you are the stag, more earthed, more, the horns are connected to intuition. In the Celtic tradition, the shamans would wear horns on their head, or in northern, actually a lot of northern traditions, wearing horns on their head, and it just picks up on subtle energies, vibrations and things like that. So there's a sense that comes in through the crown from the all. And meanwhile, you've got someone with eyes up overhead. So perhaps the person that you are finding in your life that your heart is calling to has this perspective for you. While your belly is on the earth and you are crawling through a deeply earthy energy, you have a companion high above. So this is very interesting because this reading is zooming in and zooming out and zooming in and zooming out. We have Snapdragon, and it says graciousness and benevolence. No act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. There's something, I'm hearing something, but I'm not hearing it clearly. So I will keep going and see if it comes through a little bit more clearly. It had to do with parenting, though. That in parenting this future child, so this is the narrative where this is a child and not school or some other new beginning. In this narrative, the parenting of this child in themselves heals your inner child. There's something reflective about this child that will reflect you back to yourself and help you to heal your inner child. I'm really heavily feeling that this is a pile for like a masculine, for a man, a father. I'm getting father energy. I think also with the zooming in and zooming out, you have this tendency to go really into your heart space and really into your head space and kind of bounce back and forth between the two and end up favoring your head over your heart. And if you are not someone who practices any kind of spirituality, frame it as, it would be weird that you're watching this video, but frame it as the function of your dreams, the function of your subconscious, and all the work that we do while we're sleeping is coming out and through. And it's sending you this information so that you can make these decisions, make these choices, and move forward in your life. So I think ultimately, I'll read this, but I think ultimately, regarding the heart, it's that you should feel okay and comfortable to follow that. That it's okay for you to want the things that you want and to want this new beginning. You're not too old, you're not too this, you're not too that. There's all kinds of ways that we can talk ourselves out of things or undeserving of things. But none of that applies here. Treat yourself with graciousness. And we have finally morning glory, affection and determination. The morning glory, which blooms for a day, differs not at heart from the giant pine that lives for 1,000 years. So there's something that it could be the person that you, the person, idea, whatever it is, because I'm getting that it's a couple of different things. This is a general reading. The person that you have chosen, maybe you haven't known them for a long time. Maybe you think that it's too crazy to think, I want to have a child with this person. I haven't known them that very long. Or maybe you just conceived of the idea to go back to school for something, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter how long you've been thinking it or feeling it. That a length of time does not validate something. You have worked on yourself. You have pulled yourself and survived through so many things that so far, so many days so far is what I mean. I mean, maybe you've survived through many things. I don't know. Some of you have. Venus is at the center of your reading. I just saw that. When you start to bring your head and your heart into balance, you will see that you are deserving of all of the things that you want. It is okay to move forward with your dreams. You can have a new beginning. That's what I have for you, pile number 2. I hope this was illuminating. Take care. Welcome to your reading, pile number 3. When I was pulling your cards, there was a lot of intense energy, explosive, big, anxious energy. I felt like I couldn't sit still. A million thoughts were going through my head. The stag in Celtic tradition represents independence and pride, and also the hunt, virility, those kinds of things. But there's a very strong masculine energy coming off of this stag. So let's take a look at your oracle cards. We have the mystery. I'm really feeling like, what's it called? When you have to touch things, tactile, like very tactile here. Like maybe you carve things, maybe you mold things, build things, there's something very tactile here. But you are creating sacred objects in this way. Birth and rebirth. Interesting. So there is this, wow, okay. So there's this, the word kinetic is coming to mind as well. I don't know if that means something to you, but there's this like, the birth and rebirth is that you are bringing things into existence. You're manifesting aspects of spirit, mysterious aspects, things that have never been are coming to an existence through your craft. So you are making things of the spirit world tangible. You can hold them in your hand. So this is something that in your spirit craft, you're able to draw them forth, and then you can work with them in that way. So if it's an energy that needs to be, what's an example? Okay, I'm going deep into channeling, so just a moment, please. I'm seeing a hawk, a hawk, and it's got red eyes, and it's got a raven in its claws, and it's flying high over a valley. And there's a boundary that continuously gets crossed. There's a confusion of prophecy, there's a confusion of tradition. And you're drawing lines between them, And this is where you tease out and you pull out these objects, birth and rebirth. You work with portals. You may create portals. This energy does not sit still. This energy creates. Oh, I remember pulling these cards. I knew this was going to be channeled. All right. So we have here, what do they call him? Lord. We have the Lord. Merchant. When I channel, I go blind, so I can't read this. A lot of characters on the table. Doctor. Wow. All right, there are two sides of yourself, the raven and the hawk. The raven brings, the raven is the portal, the hawk. The hawk is like the craft, the making things, the pulling things in. You create things to make people healthy. You create portals, tend portals, facilitate portals to allow. I'm seeing thistles and plants growing, growth, spring after the winter. You retrieve things from the crone. And the hawk carries the crone over the summer. You will master this craft in your life and you will teach others. You're permitted to boundary cross because it is your purpose. It is your gift. 2 tails on a whip. Close, close. Close, close to the nose. It dangles and drips. And you will fix this hose. And you will fix the way the eyes shift, the perspective. There's healing manhood here, healing masculinity, healing perspective with these objects and these portals and these spaces. This is all physical. I'm really feeling like these are 2 aspects of the physical. Like there's the material physical object and then there's like the body. And toenails and other gross shit. That's what I'm hearing. What? Just channel. I'm getting something about a cardboard box with holes cut in it. And like it's a kid sitting in a cardboard box with holes in it, looking out through the holes. And it's like magic. It's like the way that you see the world is you cut these holes through the cardboard box and you look through, you peek through to the other side. And what you see is not what others see, and so you bring it back and you make it. You make it. You craft reality with this work that you do. This is some powerful stuff. I still have more cards, believe it or not. I have 0 idea what this is. I cannot read. 6 of coins. I'm feeling like I'm feeling greedy hearts being threatened by you. Feeling it's like your generosity or the way that you conduct yourself or the way that you live your life, or you effortlessly give, makes some people threatened. They feel like they don't know how to be you because they can't be you. And this may be something that you run into. Just like jealousy and like really what's the word I'm looking for? Petty small energies. I don't see you connecting with them. I just see this around you. I see this being a way of looking at you. But it's because you're creating something different. The magician, are you kidding me? You create realities. You work your magic, you work your alchemy, you bring things into existence that weren't there before. King of Swords, master of your craft. This is the one I couldn't see. I think it says constancy. But you have to be constant to do this work, in a sense. Like, you have to know who you are and be firm in it. I mean, you don't even do it because a deer did it. These are paths that exist. These are paths that exist, but the way that you take them, the way that you walk them is different. So a different person could walk that same path and not even come close to how you do it. Let's take a look at the Oracle cards. I think we have language of flowers. Peony. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I'm so in between with your reading. Health. Yeah, right. So you could be going into something in the healthcare fields. Birth work. This could be, the manifesting could be like crafting teas for your birth work. You know, they could cross over or they could be completely separate. I did feel like a lot of energy in this pile, like I said, so it could be that you do a bunch of things. Like, I really don't feel like you're someone who has like one interest. Definitely not. Peruvian lily, strength, more effort will get you what you want. More effort. That's all it takes here, is just like walking your path. But the strength is this personal power. As soon as you come into this personal power, it is insane what you do. It's like a whole other world opens up because you come into that space. It's so important that you do. Whoever is watching this pile, this is a sacred charge that you have here. No small thing. Gardenia, awareness. Wake up, roll the clouds away, and look. So you may have a tendency to disappear into the other side. So you disappear into the place that you are meant to pull from and manifest from. So you are guided to walk the space between as much as you can. Know your tethers, know your hooks, know your places and your safeties and your checks. I'm not worried about you. So that is your message from the stag. It's a good one. Take care, pile number 3. Pile number 4, welcome to your reading. And you've been here before this situation. The fawn is you reborn, is you on shaky legs, wandering too close to the humans, not really knowing where to be or what to do. Let's take a look at your oracle cards and see what messages they have for you. So we have trust. This is a feature of being innocent and new, is having a tremendous amount of trust in the people that have come before you. We have the horse, and it says, accepting help from another, delegating authority. Okay. And you had a third card, the frog. Cleaning house, releasing emotional baggage. Okay, so this message is very clear. Deer is coming in, the fawn is coming in to remind you that it is okay to be innocent and to trust and to allow yourself some interdependence. You do not have to do everything alone, and in fact, doing things alone can send you back to the beginning. The frog lives in both water and on earth. And so there's this material mixed with the emotional. So some sort of material situation. This could be about receiving help financially, maybe because you started some sort of new beginning, or not feeling as established as you want to be. Or maybe you're looking to buy a house or something of that nature, and you are, I'm just giving examples, and you are needing to ask someone for help with that. There's no shame in asking for help, but I see that you have had difficulty with trust in this new cycle. You're definitely going to be taking a look at that situation, or at trust and what that relationship is. So there's another person involved in this situation, and I drew a card specifically to find out who that person is. So this is Neptunus. I know Pisces is ruled by Neptune. And Neptune is really a planet of dreams. It's the planet of the dreamer. It can also be of illusions and things of that nature. Are you worried? You are worried that your dreams are seen as childish or crazy, or you're afraid of judgment of others. You are still consumed in the idea that you need the approval of others without trusting others to co-create something with you or to help you with this dream. You are the dreamer, awakening. This is a return to a childlike dream or a childhood dream, perhaps. Maybe there was something that you lost. Maybe you've recovered that part of yourself. It's okay to lean into it. This explains the magic of you cards. So this is when you see a deer in the trees. This could be a very emotional experience for you. They hold the space that you need to work through some of this childhood shattered dreams. I'm getting that in doing your shadow work, or as you continue to do your shadow work, and if you don't know what shadow work is, it is a term that comes from Carl Jung, and it's an exploration of the subconscious, but it's a, return to childhood, healing your inner child, going back and, essentially giving yourself what you needed at the time. And healing those wounds helps you to heal the patterns that come from those wounds. And sometimes when we dig into our shadows, we find things we were scared of and things that we didn't want to face. But sometimes we find our dreams and the things that we used to chase and love and the spaces that we used to be in as a child. And here with resilience, burn away the past. I'm getting that you really took on like hyper responsibility, or you were very like you felt like you had to be on top of things for whatever reason. You felt this could be like a childlike parental figure that made you feel, there's a word for it, but I can't remember it right now, that you had to take on the role of being the responsible one. Or, your situation was such that you felt like you needed to prove yourself, or whatever it was. You took on this responsibility, and in doing so, you buried some parts of yourself. And in that situation, then you, in not being aligned with, those aspects of yourself, you invited people into your life that betrayed your trust because they didn't really fully know you. Could be part of the reason, or, you were just not choosing people that really aligned with yourself, that aligned with the person you were trying to be. So for instance, like if you were, it's cliche to say you're an artist hidden in a lawyer's body, but let's use that example. Like, let's say you were, you always make cartoons or something like that. And then you went to work as, we'll use the lawyer example. And so you're hanging out with lawyers and you're like, it's not lining up. You're having these experiences that are not great, but you're not aligned with what comes to you naturally and easily, which is let's say a pithy commentary on life. And the people around you are maybe take themselves too seriously, or, something like that. So that can create a rift here. But I see that you've done some work and you've moved through, maybe you've done some therapy and you've confronted some things. And that's really shown here. And then Linoia. It says everything in perfect balance. Yeah, so this isn't about, quitting your job and living a whole new life. This is just about coming into balance with your hopes and dreams. Are you making space for the part of yourself that needs to be innocent, that needs to be free, that needs to be young? Are you allowing yourself to be taken care of, or are you, only allowing yourself to be the one that can do things? Sometimes we complain that we don't get any help, but then we don't allow others to help. And again, with that alignment situation, sometimes the wrong helpers are around us, but that's about finding the people that are right for us. So we have for you the card of wish. Sorry, having trouble with the focus. And it says, make a wish with a dandelion in the wind. I feel like this is kind of sad because I feel like you don't even allow yourself to make these wishes. The fawn is coming in with this fresh energy. Allow yourself to be innocent. Allow yourself to make wishes with dandelions and recover things from your past that were beautiful. Maybe you had hard times. There is a lot of shadow here. Maybe you had some hard times, and yeah. But try not to take yourself too seriously. And we have woods. And it says, be like the woods, calm, soothing, mysterious, and full of life. Yeah, full of life. I'm really feeling revitalization, getting in touch with that intuitive, instinctive side of yourself. I hope that this beautiful, fresh energy helps to revitalize you. And take care, pile number 4. Thank you for joining. Pile number 4, I didn't even read your tarot cards, so don't go anywhere. We have more messages for you, and I think you're going to want to see them. So 8 of Swords, these are the self-imposed limitations that you put on these are self-imposed limitations you put on yourself. Of course, because they're self-limitations. We have the Ace of Cups. I see self-love coming in for you. This like fresh energy again. The 7 of Wands. Which conflicts are real and which are imagined? Are you being self-conscious? Are these expectations you've put on yourself, or are they from other people? Do other people expect you to perform in this way? And then we have the Page of Pentacles. This is a slow-moving process, but there's something that's coming in for you that is something material that is really going to change things for you. So this could be a new, fresh energy. This could be a child coming into your life. This could be I'm guided to say that meditation and stillness, finding places of stillness physically, will help to clear away this clutter and distrust and this expectation of yourself that may just be self-imposed. But with this Ace of Cups, this is such a beautiful energy. It could be that there's some new love coming in for you as well. Through this fresh energy and through accepting love and loving energy, you are able to receive love. Okay, so that is for real what I have for you. I hope that that was helpful. I'm so sorry that I forgot your cards. I just got caught up in the swing of things. But for real, take care. Pile number 5, you chose the Celtic animal totem stag. And all I'm hearing is pride. That's all I'm hearing. Sorry if you hear my chair creaking. This is such, I'm on pile number 5 and this chair is uncomfortable. Donate to my channel. Help me get a new chair. All right, let's take a look at your oracle cards and see what they have to say. We have the card Focus, number 33. Pow, 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 pow. I don't know why. I'm thinking of like little boys making fake gun sounds. And the bee, easily distractible. This says luck, industriousness, and sweet victory. So if you can sustain your focus, there are beautiful things ahead for you. So how are you going to do that? So Stag wants you to widen the path and make the view more clear. Visualize what you're doing, get excited, pull in all the things that you know keep you focused, that you know set up your space. Set up your space to function specifically for this purpose. Interesting. I want to take a look at, you had cards about a person involved. So there's someone else involved in this situation. Let's take a look. Of Crossroads, Garden, and the Sun. This person could be a Gemini or a Leo. I'm hearing they've cloned themselves to look like you. But no one is you. And you do not need to sit behind anyone. What you've planted grows for you. And this is not to be out of the spirit of community. The bee is very communal, but there's pride. Take pride in what you do. Maybe you don't give yourself enough credit. Let's take a look at what other cards we have for you. I'm very curious to see how this unfolds. You have an interesting reading. We have Aphrodite, a partner, and the coven. Aphrodite and the coven, the community. You can be a part of the community, but you operate on your own. You moved away from someone to grow something and found your light. I'm going to pull out the tarot cards as well because I still do not have a clear vision of this message. Okay. something's hidden. Okay. You know that song, A Dream is a Wish Your Heart Makes when you're feeling sad? Is that like Snow White or something? I'm hearing that song. There's something hidden because the Wheel of Fortune is present. The wheel has not yet turned. But the players that we have on the table, there's some sort of partnership, romantic partnership that is tied to your work. Your work feels very social, but the social aspect of it distracts you. So the personal social aspect of your work distracts you. You get caught up in illusions. You get caught up in issues of pride, of performance, Leo things, of being liked. And it takes you off of that path. It brings you out of your focus. You have luck and fortune here. So wherever you're headed, it's good. There's no need to worry. What you discern is true. Sometimes in a community, not just sometimes, but in a community, that everyone has their place and everyone has their purpose. And I'm really feeling like your specific place and purpose is not meant to be shared with others. You don't tell people about your work because people will try to do it. And so you must protect not only your industriousness, but the work in itself. Veil it in some way. This is like not giving away your full recipe, keeping something to yourself, or knowing that there's this one specific technique that you use that makes it different from everything else. Your unique brushstroke is the important thing here. You cannot rely on others to keep you bolstered or to keep you focused. These are the things that you have to learn in yourself. I'm feeling very channely, very nauseous right now. You have caution. This is that warning. This is about the coven. Tread softly so as not to disturb the woodland floor. There's something that needs to not be disrupted. I almost feel like the coven is something that is on the side, that maybe it's like a group of friends that were really, really important, but there's this like romantic partner I feel for you so strongly. There's this romantic partner or someone who you love very deeply, that you have a very loving relationship with, who is a partner But I'm really getting, it's like wife or husband kind of thing. Like maybe you're not married, but that kind of like committed relationship where they are the only person that you can trust with this information. It has to be grounded and rooted in the foundation, the home where you live, and it doesn't leave, it doesn't go to the coven, it doesn't belong to anyone else. Only you see the moose and only you can ride it. We have trust. The robin trusts her wings, not the branch she sits on. Yeah, before I read that, I was thinking this is trusting yourself. So not putting trust into not relying on others for your confidence and not trusting others with your ideas. So maybe someone will say, I don't think that's a great idea, or, express their opinion about something, and they could be well-meaning, but they don't know. It's not for them to know, it's for you. And music, yeah, like this is your own unique song, just like only you can ride this moose, only you can hear this song. And you can share this with a partner. There's also harmony here. It could be that it's their work also. Maybe you work together. And there is a melody to be heard in the deepest parts of the woods if only we listen. This is about tuning in to that deep part of yourself. I feel like once you tap into that, this path does get wider and your work does get more focused. Now, I would still say that you have to craft spaces for this work, specific spaces. It's sort of like how they say you shouldn't watch TV in bed because bed is for sleep, and your body will get confused on like what to do when in bed because, it's like, no, but bed is for TV. So this is like, physiologically crafting experiences to override your distractibility or your over-reliance on it being a social thing. This is like, how some people will only go to the gym if someone else goes with them. This is going to the gym on your own. Maybe you're going out on your own with some sort of venture. But this woman is illuminated and the other two have their back to it. So it's like no one else is going to, and the bird, she sees the bird, she hears the bird. The other two are ignorant to it. So you can't, rather than trying to use your energy to convince others that this is a good idea or that this work is worthwhile, just doing it. And having pride in yourself. I think that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for joining, and I hope this illuminated something. If you want a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. Take care.